Hello everyone, welcome to the final episode of From Neutron to Proton, where we take you from being a new student to a pro student by introducing some of the many facets of campus life at Waterloo. In this episode, I'll be showing you some of the first year science labs. Now, before you walk into your first lab, you want to make sure you have all the required materials. Whether it's biology, chemistry, physics, or earth science, there are some common items that you should always keep in check to prepare for your labs. Your physics lab requires all of the basics, such as a pencil case filled with writing utensils, a calculator, and a lab manual for your specific lab. All lab manuals can be purchased from the bookstore, which is located at the South Campus Hall. Do you have an earth science lab in your schedule? Well then, in addition to all of the basic lab items, you're also going to need some pencil crayons for coloring in various maps. It's recommended to bring a hand lens and a magnet to the lab as well, but not strictly required. Hand lenses can be purchased from Right Stuff, which is also conveniently located at South Campus Hall. For your chemistry labs, you'll be required to bring a lab coat, safety goggles to protect your eyes, and a Sharpie to mark all your labware. Lab coats can be purchased from MediaDoc and STC or Right Stuff and SCH. In the chemistry lab, you and your partner will be sharing a locker containing all labware for the remainder of the term. Keep in mind that you will have to pay for any broken glassware or missing equipment, so it's really important that you take good care of it all. Every biology lab has slightly different requirements on what you need to bring. Some labs will require you to specifically purchase a green lab notebook or a dissection kit. Both of these items can be purchased at MediaDoc and STC. You may also need to bring a laptop to your first lab in order to install RefWorks and Red Insight programs found on the UW Library website. More information about the items required for your lab will be posted on Learn. Similar to chemistry labs, you will need to bring a lab coat, safety goggles, and a lab manual in addition to all of the basics. Here's a pro tip. Remember to bring these items to each lab if you don't want to risk losing subjective marks. As a science student, you'll find your very own goggles, faculty-approved calculator, a Sharpie, and much more in your orientation kit during check-in. Great! You have all the required items for your lab, but there are still a couple more tasks that you need to do before you're all set and ready to go. You will be required to obtain WHMIS certification for your first chemistry or biology lab. This can be done by completing the WHMIS course on Learn. Click on the Self-Registration tab on the top of the home page and scroll down to select the appropriate course. Don't know what Learn is? Check out this video by the Student Success Office for more details. There are several different ways to prepare for your labs before going in. It's generally good practice to read over your experiment ahead of time so that you know what to do and what to look for during the lab. All labs are 3 hours long, but you're free to leave early if you finish before that. Some biology labs will require you to read the lab manual and create a flowchart beforehand. Make sure you take the time to do this because it does count for marks. Your physics lab will require you to complete a lab report during the lab session, so it's really important that you come well prepared to each experiment in order to finish on time. Your lab instructor will also be setting up open lab hours starting from the second week of labs. This is where you can go to ask any questions and familiarize yourself with the experiment before the actual lab. Speaking of lab reports, you will probably have to write some form of a report depending on the lab. These can range from informal reports to a full-blown lab report. Your instructor or teaching assistant will usually say what they expect from you during the pre-lab talks, so be sure to pay attention. Some of your labs will be weekly, while others may be bi-weekly. You can view your schedule on Quest or Portal to check the designated lab start dates, or look out for an announcement from your instructor on Learn. And that brings us to the end of our video series. We really hope that these videos have helped you learn more about Waterloo Science, and we can't wait for you to join our family. Thank you so much for watching, everyone, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye! Physics labs will require you to complete a lab report within 30 minutes. Not 30 minutes. 3 hours.
30 minutes, go!
Your physics lab will require you to complete a lab report during the 30-minute labs. Why do I keep saying 30 minutes? What?
You just really want people to rush through.
I want to say 3 hours,
yeah.
if anything.